Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of The Daily. It's Monday, April 4th, here with Jason Seguini. I'm Nick Fershaw, and Jay, we're going to start with the biggest story of the weekend and the biggest story from Friday afternoon. Dwayne De Rosario traded from Toronto FC to the New York Red Bulls late Friday afternoon. He made his debut at Red Bull Arena in a 1-1 draw against the Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, it didn't take Dero long to make an impact. He came on at halftime, immediately sent Dane Richards through, who scored the goal for the Red Bulls to put them up. This is a huge trade if you're a New York Red Bulls fan. I mean, this really puts them over the hump. What they've been saying all season is they really need an attacking midfielder in there. People thought they were going to go out of the league to get it, but they got it from within the league and still makes the Red Bulls heavy favorites in the Eastern Conference.
I want to make sure we also mention the Houston Dynamo. Tally Hall, another great game in goal for Dom Kinnear's group, and Cam Weaver gets the equalizer on a miscue for the Red Bulls in the back line. Let's move on to Sporting Kansas City and Vancouver Whitecaps, maybe the game of the weekend, a 3-3 draw up at Empire Field. The Whitecaps come back from a 3-0 deficit. They get 2 goals in stoppage time. What a game.
Yeah, this could be the game of the year, and it happened in week 3. Teal Bunbury scoring 2 goals for Sporting KC in Vancouver, which was interesting, obviously, because Bunbury spurned Canada to play for the U.S. But then late in the game, Vancouver, well, they get the first one. It kind of opened the floodgates a little. The momentum built. The crowd was going crazy. 2 goals in stoppage time by Camilo. Very impressive comeback for Vancouver. The crowd there really played a big part in it.
Yeah, you mentioned Teal Bunbury, 2 goals for the U.S. international, who was booed actually by the Canadian fans after he scored those goals, and a great game for Jimmy Nielsen in goal for Sporting Kansas City. Staying on the expansion beat, we want to give some credit to the Portland Timbers. Their first point in MLS, a 1-1 draw against the New England Revolution on the back of a Jack Dewsbury goal.
Yeah, and a tough place to go and get a win in New England. If you're New England, you're probably disappointed here that you had the lead and you end up settling for a draw at home against an expansion team. For Portland, though, congratulations to them for getting their first point in MLS.
Moving on to Sunday night's game, the Colorado Rapids, the defending MLS Cup champions, 3-0 on the season now, 4-1 winners over DC United. Sunday night it looked chilly, Dick's Sporting Goods Park, but Caleb Folan heated it up. 2 goals for the Irish international, his first goals, and really a dominating performance from the Rapids.
Yeah, Gary Smith, the Colorado coach, has an embarrassment of riches here. He gets Omar Cummings back from international duty and sits him on the bench to play Connor Casey and Caleb Folan. Folan, great game for him, scoring 2 goals. The one thing that you come out of this game a little worried if you're Colorado is that Connor Casey pulled up with a hamstring injury. That said, Gary Smith was able to look to his bench and put in Omar Cummings for him. So impressive open to the season for Colorado.
Jay, you mentioned Omar Cummings coming on as a second-half substitute for Connor Casey. He gets a goal in stoppage time to seal it for the Rapids. We want to move on to Real Salt Lake. They are down in San Jose, Costa Rica, ahead of this CONCACAF Champions League semifinal series against Saprissa, and they hold the edge. This is a tough one, but they hold the edge going in.
Yeah, they won 2-0 at home, so it's an aggregate score, obviously. Away goals count, though, so if Salt Lake can get a goal, Saprissa would have to score 4 goals in order to move on. So the question really becomes for Salt Lake, do you go out and attack them, try to get that goal, or do you just try to sit back and hold on to that 2-0 lead that you've built?
And we wanted to also mention our very own Simon Borg is down in Costa Rica reporting with the latest headlines and the latest installment of Champions League 360, the exclusive video series here on MLSsoccer.com, is up. It's a very good one. It talks to Coach Jason Kreis about a lot of things, and Chris Wingert, the defender, working out with the Utah Jazz slam dunk team. I don't know if you've seen that. It's some pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, all the behind the scenes from this whole Real Salt Lake trip and experience in Champions League. It's pretty cool.
Again, that game Tuesday night. 2 last things before we go. The U.S. under-20s down in Guatemala City. They're going to face Guatemala on Wednesday with the chance to reach the World Cup, and it's Monday, so it's time for Extra Time Radio. The latest installment comes out today. You can catch that on iTunes and Buzzsprout.